you have more questions on that? I mean, that's awesome, and I know that a lot of thrivers are facing the exact same thing. So do you have more questions on that, John?
No.
Okay.
I have one more thing I want to add, though, because I've talked to thrivers about this. Anytime you're awesome at anything, most people will hate you. So just deep thought. Martin Luther King, he basically helped end the social injustice, the civil rights movement. So what we do? Killed him. Some people say, well, he wasn't perfect. He did have affairs. Yeah, who's perfect? But I'm saying he got killed. So, Ronald Reagan's like, hey, we probably need to end this whole Cold War deal. Like this whole idea of nuclear explosions that could happen at any moment. It's probably not good. We should probably end that. They shoot him. Jesus, he's like, hey, check it out. You need to love people, the way Christ loves the church. You need to take care of your fellow man. He invented the golden rule, Hey, let's kill him. 33. I mean, the Boston Red Sox, they won a couple World Series. The Chicago Bulls won, 6 championships. People hated the Bulls. Remember that? People hated the Bulls. You had the Yankees. What are they guilty of? Winning? Well, they spend too much on their players. You got to be kidding me, Royal fans. If your team was spending $280 million a year on your lineup to win every year, to be competitive, you would go, I love it. So the Patriots are winning all the time. No one runs around going, I hate the Jaguars. The Jaguars, people are going, are the Jaguars even still a National Football League team? Do they have a team? You know what I mean? So I'm just saying, anytime you're excellent at something, they will criticize you. They just will. And recently my wife was in the Tulsa World sharing a story about our son's healing. And I've had people email me horrible things because my wife was asked, was your son blind? Yes. Was he healed? Yes. Does that freak people out? Yes. And there's people that for whatever reason, as soon as they see something that's not normal, they attack it. And so I'm just saying, go read Lord of the Flies, the fictional book that explains this more in depth if you want to. But just understand, if you do anything excellent, you will be hated for it.
Makes sense. So let's recap these different things real quick that contribute to marketing a self-published book. First, the tools that you need before marketing yourself: the website, the BR kit, the logo, and all of it must be world-class, okay? So that's the first thing. The second thing is reaching out to blogs. Become a guest feature, do an interview, allow them to open up and understand your content through the blog format. But the same thing goes for podcasts. That's the next point. Going through and making a list of different podcasts to be featured on. That way you can hear your voice across the world. And
when you nail it, they will nail you for it. So as you start to become an expert, the people who've known you forever are going to go, who is he? Who does he think he is? I know who he is. I have worked with him for years, and he is not anything special. I see him every day. And when you see him on a day where he's upset, you won't even understand what it's like. I can't. But then people who don't know you are like, oh my gosh, you're such a wise wizard. So you've got to understand that as a general rule, the more success you have, I'm just telling you, I see people at Whole Foods and Sprouts who come up to me and go, are you the guy? You're the guy. You're helping my son. I'm like, well, do what? He's on Thrive 15. You helped him start his company. He's killing it right now. One lady came up to me and hugs me by the sushi. Literally, she goes, my son is doing everything on there. His business is blowing up. Thank you. And I'm like, okay. Well, then you have family members who are like, who are you giving advice? You can't even dress yourself. You wear the same thing every day. True. So you just got to understand that there's just, as you nail it, they're going to nail you for it.
Okay, and then the next thing is the online advertisements. We talked about the different platforms to take out ads on, okay? The Google Shopping, Amazon, Facebook ads, retargeting ads, okay? So we talked about that. And then lastly, the speaking events. Booking yourself for speaking events, doing some volunteer events up front, but then the different platforms, Gig Masters, Gig Salad, to begin building a following of speaking events.
And I would be remiss if I said, if you're going to speak professionally, don't practice on the audience. So what you'll need to do is become an excellent speaker. And we have trainings on Thrive 15 about how to become a great speaker. Some people agree or disagree with the religious beliefs of Carlton Pearson, but he has some unbelievable trainings on that. Also, Dale Carnegie, he wrote a book about public speaking, which is phenomenal. We'll put the name of the book up here right now. And there's one more book about public speaking that everyone should know who wants to speak. Brian Tracy has a book on public speaking. So we have trainings on that.
And Jim Cathcart.
Jim Cathcart, unbelievable trainings. And Jim Cathcart was actually named at one point the #1 speaker in the world. And he's got awesome trainings on Thrive 15 on how to do it. So again, the recap of those 4, though, Jim Cathcart's trainings, phenomenal. Dale Carnegie's book on speaking, phenomenal. Brian Tracy's book on speaking, phenomenal. And the trainings we have on Thrive 15, they're just dive into it, but don't get up there in front of an audience without an outline like I did. Oh, I mean, people would write comments like, I don't think at any point he had a point. And I'm like, so? I mean, it's just, so not good.
All right, Thrivers, thank you so much for joining us for how to market yourself with a self-published book. And we're going to get into some more self-publishing tips and tricks, pros and cons in other trainings. But John, thank you so much. Clay, thank you.
Thank you for thanking me.
The white moose is loose.